Players' forces are under attack indeed. For Happy, it's not about the EPT points. For Happy, it's about money, the ice cream money. Even in winter, he wants to be the 3-time European champion. And for Sonik, we heard him last time, everybody wants to be a star, bro. And what better way to become a star than beating Happy on day 1?
And doing so on the first map with a Warden. That's kind of a Sonic special, right? We've seen that plenty in the past. It's a hero that plays very differently from the normal Keeper or Demon Hunter play, but can be really flashy, can be really cool. I have yet to see a game of him beating Happy with it, or, you know, any game with him beating Happy with it. But Happy has shown to be sometimes, very rarely, vulnerable to the Warden. Lawlight defeated him with a Warden. Foggy defeated him once with a Warden. So Sonik only has to play as well as Foggy and Lawlight.
Yeah, easy task, right? Just play like the best Night Elves in the world. Warden still level 2. The last hit went to Happy, but usually Happy is the one harassing, and this is why I like this a lot. Put Happy outside of his comfort zone, outside the strategies that he's played a million times against Foggy in the ESL Cups pretty much every single week when these two were attending. That was the grand final. We have seen these games left, right, and center, and he's the best at that style, so throw him a curveball. Surprise him somehow, even if it's not gonna be easy.
Yeah, especially against Keeper, we see Happy playing usually very aggressively, especially on this map, with a DK and creeping with ghouls at the same time, with Backpack. Here against the Warden, he's not so concerned. A Warden level 3, yes, is pretty strong, but it's not as deadly as a Keeper level 3, especially against ghouls and possibly Acolytes. I like the choice here of Sonik to go double Ancient of War. The Warden needs to level, needs to get higher level spells quickly, and just one single Ancient of War for creeping would not be enough, so the second Ancient of War does make sense. However, of course, it cuts into the tech timing, where he's not going to be too fast.
Yeah, and this is a lot about tech, because tier 3 is so powerful on both sides. I don't see Sonik really staying on tier 1 or tier 2, right? Mass Dryads shouldn't really be his style.
A player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things he can play, and he has played in the past. I know that some months ago, Warden with Demon Hunter 2nd used to be a favorite of his. Get Warden level 3 and then creep up the Demon Hunter and get him level 3 as well, while the Warden creates space with a level 2 Shadow Strike. And then I would say the norm is Dryads and Bears, and perhaps an expansion. We see a Wisp moving over. Is this the time to cue the tree? Not yet.
Oh.
And Happy's already here to scout.
Can't steal the big turtle, but of course skeletons, coils, can deal with archers fairly easy. But the Warden on the other side, both heroes have staff and boots. Warden, of course, can hide in the shadows, dust being used, and I think this has to be Blink kinda soon, trying to do damage during the tech, but the Acolytes all safe at Happy's Haunted Goldmine. We've seen this more and more recently, that Night Elves trying to storm the undead base during the tech, trying to get Acolytes, trying to get ghouls even, before the first big fight. And that was with the Keeper, but what the Keeper can do in that regard, the Warden can do tenfold. And I guess she's trying that again.
Yeah, for that reason, Happy already went for the Necropolis early, right? We see that against Warden all the time. Since Acolytes die so easily with a blink and everything, you really want to be able to remake those if you can. But Acolytes didn't fall. It was one ghoul. One ghoul dying for the Warden's whole mana pool that I think would favor Happy by a good amount. What surprises me a bit is the boost of speed here on Happy. This does indicate to me that Happy and Sonik have played recently, with Sonik playing the Warden, and he would just right-click the DK like crazy. And this time Happy's like, no. I'm gonna have high move speed this time. You're not gonna force me so low HP so easy.
There we go, another coil, another kill, another corpse, another use of the Rod of Necromancy. Happy is pulling all the right strings, I think, reacting to this really, really well. It's not super surprised by this, but also not going outside his box too far. It's a Lich, it's a tier 3. This is the norm, but no expansion yet by Sonik. Remo, don't you need an expansion against Undead at some point during the game?
That is usually what people say, but it has also been proven false, I guess we can say, in some cases before. If you're a micro-heavy one-base player, that can also sometimes work. Like Lawlight, for example, showed in the ESL Open Cup against Happy, in fact. not too long ago. But that was, of course, a different strat. The idea here for the Warden, I think, is creep level 4 quickly and then harass the economy over and over, build up a 50 supply army, get ahead in gold, and then try to expand with that gold advantage. But Happy again taking minimal damage, and here we see it, the Warden chasing after the DK, and these boots are indeed looking pretty good on the Death Knight.
Yeah, it's the perfect response. It's of course a little expensive alongside the staff, but that's exactly what Sonic game plan was. Pressure on the DK, he can't coil himself, now even blocking with the statues, so no more right clicks, and this is not gonna get any easier once the Lich levels up a bit, and can help out with Frost Armor.
The cool thing for Happy is also, as he reached level 3 so early, he crept the natural with ghouls already. What seems to be the best late game strat against Warden nowadays is, well, first in the mid game, don't let her creep too crazy, don't let her get level 5 too easily, but then go for a tier 3 timing with Frenzy Ghouls and Orb and maybe a third hero. And behind that push, you can expand pretty easily because there's so much pressure on the other side of the map. Doesn't mean that Happy will have to play this style, but the option is certainly available with the natural Crepto.
Can he creep Jack here? Can he get some last hits? DK still under a little bit of pressure, but has the TP. Warden got level 4 now. Shadow Strike. Oh, we expected this on the right target. The coil was already in the air, but the damage too much. Last hit, impossible. Scroll the Beast for Sonic, for Happy here. Might need that to kill the Warden off, who has an Invo Potion and a heal scroll, but also not too much HP anymore. So has to retreat, take a step back, and I feel like it's not enough damage against the economy or against ghouls. Like, Happy got a lot more archer kills than Sonic got ghouls, and that's not really the way Sonic wants it to.
Yeah, what was pretty decent here, though, was forcing out all of this mana out of the DK. We see he's out of mana right now and doesn't have a mana potion. Happy is kind of broke, but whether this is playable or not, we'll see. The problem for the Warden here is she will need level 5. If we get to an all-out fight on 50 supply, level 4 Warden is not enough. She needs this last hit. She needs it badly, but it goes to Happy with the Nova. And the item as well gets the claws plus 12. Wonderful drop from this red camp, and Happy's pushing forward. Silence on the Warden, no dispel against it, as it seems next Nova comes in. These archers die so quickly. Some ghouls fall as well, but the backline of Fiends and Heroes still standing strong with the statue supporting.
Man, Dark Ranger third against this. Very, very good choice for Silence and Black Arrow. Warden gets a little bit of a support with Bears now, but I wonder if that's enough. Lich is a heavy hitter. Circlet now sold to be able to purchase a Moonstone. Sonic not even that broke, but needed a slot, I guess, with only one hero, obviously. Only 6 slots available for items. He has the Orb, but no Staff of Preservation, and he won't be getting one because the shop is gone.
Yeah, this is starting to get scary quite quickly. Building the lore so far outside the base is good for reinforcements, but if they're not protected behind the Moonwells, if they fall, your production is going to be down in the dumpster. Sonic is trying to force the DK to TP away. Once again, heavy single target focus, but one bear goes down. The Frost Armor is protecting the Death Knight. Again, we don't see Dispel from the Dryads, because if they run in, he just gets sniped so easily. The Warden's out of mana, pops the Invo Potion, but you mentioned it, no shop, no mana potion. This Warden is completely harmless right now.
And surrounded as well, kind of at least. There was a big Invo Potion. Happy closes the door with a ghoul, at least for now. Switches the focus now, so it doesn't get the first hero of Sonic, but more and more of the Ancients of Lore, and even silences the bear, so the redo is later. Now the damage is there to kill that bear. Oh man, this game is going downhill quite fast for Sonic, and that is game. Emperor reigns supreme again.
And you gotta feel for Sonik here, because, you know, he tried something specific to try and snowball in the game, you know, gain some momentum here and there, but Happy just won't let it happen. This is like what we know him to be able to play against Warden as the guy that makes all the right choices. You know, the second Necropolis attacking at the exact right time, not allowing the Warden to get level 5, and before Sonic would have enough units to hold as well. It was just so well executed, and I feel bad for Sonic, you know, like every season we need the sacrificial lamb to go against Happy first, and, you know, to lose to get that out of the way so that Happy can get first in the group and then go on to win the whole thing. And unfortunately for him, this time he drew the short stick, or I don't know, maybe they asked who wanted Happy, and then he volunteered as a tribute or something, but either way, it's not going too hot for him right now.
Not really, but this is a lot more competitive from Sonic's side than it was in pretty much all the recent encounters in ESL Cups. We've seen this at 88, 86, 74, 73, always in the semifinals, always at 2-0. And yeah, Sonic was memeing a bit. Sonic was eating during the games, like not in between maps, but on the maps. That's not the case. It shows, of course, the prestige of DreamHack. He is trying. He's bringing in interesting strategies, but man, Happy is just happy.
Yeah, and this is, I feel like, what oftentimes these games boil down to. You know, it's kind of enticing to try to go for a different strategy, catch Happy off guard. But when does that really work? When does he ever fall to cheese? Sometimes, very rarely, indeed he does. Remember that game against Starshade, where Starshade was able to get one map out of Happy with expanding and laming and bats and all that stuff, but normally it doesn't work. I feel like cutting corners against Happy hardly ever will lead to victory. You just have to play it straight up and really, really well. But it's also, like, you're between a rock and a hard place. Like, whatever route you take, it's going to be extremely hard to pull off.
For sure. Game is up. Next map is going to be Tidehunters. We talked about this before. Map pool has changed a little bit. Amazonia out. AL Autumn Leaves got an update and Shallow Grave is in. But we don't see that here. Maybe in Series 2, 3, or 4. But so far, so good. Tidehunters. Todd, the match is about to start. Your final thoughts before we move on to map 2?
Sonik needs to play the best WarCraft he's ever played. He needs to get item luck. He needs, I don't know, some pizza to be delivered by accident to Happy's apartment so he loses focus a little bit. He needs a miracle, guys.
Yeah, send the candy man to Moscow. I guess that's the biggest chance for sure. Sonic 0, Happy 1. Let's start into map number 2. There we go, Remo. This is the second map. We start on the upper left-hand side in his patented yellow. From the Ukraine, down a map is Sonic. In the bottom right, the one who conquered Concealed Hill already, trying to make this a clean 2-0. In the bottom right, needs no introduction, he's happy. So what can we expect from Tidehunters?
Normally this is a great keeper map. You can creep up level 2 very easily and expand very reliably on this map. Move into the middle, continue to creep up, get level 3, and we all know, right, how strong that keeper level 3 is with Entangle. But Sonic doesn't want to go for the standard. Doesn't want to follow the herd. He is his own man. He is an individual in every sense of the word, and will go with the Warden again. Still trusts in the possibility that she can spiral out of control, that she can get a great early game, and I think that's what he needs. He needs to get level 3 fast, get a lot of kills, and then take the game, play it with a lead. What Happy did on map 1, it was a bit risky. The normal play usually against Warden is get level 2 first, and then harass the Warden heavily, slowing down her level 3. But sooner or later, she gets level 3, and then you fall back, creep up yourself with Lich, with statues, and so on. Happy didn't do that. Happy crept level 3 first, and then started harassing fast. His level 3 was still faster, but the Warden soon followed with her own level 3. And then, we know how dangerous it is. With the Shadow Strike level 2, the Warden chasing you, but how did Happy react? He buys boots. Such a simple thing to do, but so effective. The DK with that didn't drop too low, wasn't forced into a TP, and the Warden basically wasted a lot of her time. How much did she kill in that early game? It was one ghoul, right? One ghoul. Didn't even force a TP, just got one ghoul, and that is not enough if you're playing a Warden.
For sure. Happy has scouted Sonic's game plan already, saw, okay, it's a Warden. I know the location of the second engine of war, so I know exactly what to do. Pump fake, the detonate gets off, gets rid of some of the skeletons. Helps the Warden with experience, of course, as well. Level 2 for her. Now, there's a little bit of a difference here. In game 1, both players had boots and staff, and we know that at 1900 WarCraft time, we do get 2 pairs of boots, but we only get 1 staff. So maybe that helps Sonic here if he's in time.
Sonik running for the main right away. Happy read that very clearly. He went for Nerub in the back, not in the front, because he knew he might be a little bit too late for the Warden to be caught in the front. We see the Necropolis again, trying to make sure Acolytes can be replaced. And this will be the Warden having to blink out once again.
Trying to do some damage here. Maybe bait a coil to make the DK use some mana so that, I guess, slows down creeping. And Happy doesn't have level 2 yet, which he usually always gets. In the meantime, though, Sonik didn't start creeping with Intention of War. Lots of downtime. If you compare this to the best in the world, to a Lawlight, for example, there's more multitasking going on, but not for Sonik, not yet.
Good thing is, once he has 5 archers, or maybe 6, he can use both Ancient of Wars to walk around. Of course, the first one had to keep producing archers, and now he's continuing to keep the second camp. Would love to get a Pendant of Energy right here, by far the best item, and he gets it. Alright, that's what we want to see, to have an even game here. As we see one more archer coming in. Is he gonna make another one? If he goes up to 7, I think they're gonna get a bit wonky.
Mass archers, I mean, they are good units, right? Especially on tier 3. And the Dryad Bear combo didn't really work too well, I would say. So why not? Sonic's always been a big fan of that, of being a little more unpredictable than others. We have a nice inventory for Happy, by the way, who's creeping with ghouls at the same time. At 6 o'clock, we got a claw, we got circlets, we got boost, we got dust. And that's a good damage lich already, and we know Happy, he loves to take care of the marketplace, so second hero is gonna be a damage dealer yet again.
This is a great movement right here by Happy. The DK already on the way, where he knows he's gonna hit level 3 momentarily with the ghouls creeping. He picks up the boots on the way, so he knows he's safe against the Warden, who might be level 3, but he's not quite level 3. And you know why? Because he stole one last hit right there, because his timing with the movement was just impeccable. And now, what the hell's Sonik gonna do? He can creep at the natural, but even there, Happy's got the scout ready, in position, and doesn't even lose it to the archers. Oh, or maybe he does. Alright, that mistake will be allowed, but the Warden is still not level 3, and the DK is looking for more kills.
Oh man, this is gonna be rough. Just as on Concealed Hill, DK alone with a rod of Necromancy and coils gets so much done because of the timings, because of the positioning, because of the multitasking. And that's again 2 archers down while the Warden is struggling with the level 3. An Acolyte would be level 3, invests a lot of Shadow Strike into it. But you know, is this Acolyte even dead? I'm not 100% sure. Look at how he hides in the forest. This is ridiculous.
Oh, the Warden almost goes down 8 HP.
Calculated.
And there was a backup Necropolis anyways. Happy now with a Lich coming out. This is only the second rod of Necromancy, by the way, that he purchased. So he saved quite a bit of gold here, did Happy, in the early game. Now racing towards the late game. Tier 3 on the way, not losing anything yet against the Warden, who's not even level 3.
Sonik, is he setting up a trap? Not really, but yeah, Warden needs levels. We mentioned this plenty of times, and things don't change in that regard. I mean, things change in the WarCraft world rather quickly when it comes to metagames, but this fact won't change for a Warden probably ever. Finally, what is it? 7-minute level 3. Too late. And in Sonic's base, we got double Engine of Lore tier 3 again.
And Happy, the same game plan as before, right? Get level 3 fast, and then go on the aggressive. Look for some kills, take out some archers, while also keeping the main as safe as you possibly can. Earlier, 1 ghoul went down, now no ghouls went down. And the Warden is still desperately looking for some kills, looking for perhaps a creep jack, doesn't find that. But yeah, a ghoul or 2 might be up for grabs, or an Acolyte. Yeah, Acolyte is going to be the call. But that's what we got the second Necro for. Happy remakes that Acolyte right away, and even staffs back home, has the coil ready. And the kill counter still says 0 for this Warden.
Right? Like, not a ghoul, not an Acolyte, just nothing. Incredible how well Happy is faring against this playstyle.
Yeah, very nicely done. He knows how strong his frenzy timing is going to be. This Lich would be, of course, stronger on level 3, but honestly, it's fine on level 1 once he picks up the orb. Throw a Dark Ranger on top, and then a Frenzy Ghoul timing. A level 4 Warden has hard enough of a time to hold that. A level 3 Warden, I don't see doing it, but he's gonna try to do his best, give it his all. We got some bears coming in. Now the rejuve is very helpful. 5 archers and bears. No dryads at all yet, which is gonna make even taking out ghouls in the next fight quite a bit more difficult.
Another coil used to save this lich. They're exchanging spells here with Shadow Strike and Nova. But, you know, all this damage here. Warden gotta be careful. That's using the blink. All this damage will be nullified thanks to the statue who arrives. Always a great feeling as an undead when you finally arrive at the late stages of tier 2 and you got healing and mana regen. I think Happy has no reason to feel uncomfortable. There's no expansion against him. Experience is working in his favor. One base always good. Tech-wise, they're pretty even. What can throw him off here?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like much can. The Warden is going to try to do it now. Going to run into the main once again. Happy's close by to try to defend. Honestly, he could just let this Warden leave her to her own devices here and just go for a counterattack. Or fall back, both are an option. The DK, in fact, is close by, while the Lich is leveling up. Is the Warden finally gonna get one kill? This Acolyte seems to be falling. There we go. Finally, one unit goes down. But it was only a single Acolyte.
Warden continues creeping, but the ghouls are already there. A little too late. Big mana potion, but traded that for a TP out because he knows how dangerous this creep check is gonna be. Ancient will go down. Warden still not level 4, but how much can the big mana potion do now? That is 250 extra mana in combination with the pendant, could even be more. Sonik couldn't be more lucky with the items, I guess. Maybe circlets instead of gloves, but that's about it. Now he has to make use of it.
Warden also doesn't have Invul Potion, by the way. So Silence, Coil Nova could be quite scary. And here we have Lady Anthis Sunbow, the third hero. The Dark Ranger is now part of the mix. And Sonik again gonna have to hold on. This is pretty much what we always see against Warden. This push happening with the tier 3 timing. But the positioning is good. The archers are kind of protected. But we don't have an AP here to help out. This is the push that earlier killed Sonik. Can you hold on this time?
Looks a little better, except from the Warden not being level 4, but Bear's already there, not getting sniped immediately, but he has to do something, and moving out of these needle holes is not gonna be too easy. He needs to connect with the Bears, he needs to be on range with Dryads and Archers, but his lore is just for free, falling again.
Yeah, once more making the Moonwells behind the lures. Normally we see it the other way around. That perhaps a bit of a mistake in the base build. Nova, focus fire on the bears. The first one goes down right away. We don't have a staff to save one of these. We do have an Orb of Venom, and the Warden is trying to look for kills. Normally you're supposed to take out the ghouls first, but the focus fire here wasn't perfectly on point at all times. Dark Ranger, she's dropping low with the target there from the Shadow Strike, but there's an Invul Potion needed when necessary. The DK is running out of mana, slowly but surely, and perhaps the TP can be forced. All right, Sonik forces the push back by targeting these heroes, but he lost a lot of units in the process.
Yeah, down to 33. Has to rebuild now, while Happy, he knows exactly what's up. Sells a couple of items, gets another town portal, a thing that Sonik, of course, would never ever do. We know that much. But he doesn't have to rebuild too much. I think a statue. The ghouls, how many are still there? 2. Okay, so they won't be part of the next fight. But Fiends will, Destroyers will, the heroes will, and Happy makes damn sure that it's his shop and his shop only.
Yeah, 2 ghouls left in the main. I guess that's enough lumber support for the rest of the game. Even brings in 1 maybe? Or just for scouting. Big level up here for the DK as well, by the way. Level 4 is going to be reached, and he found a replenishment potion, which is perfect for this state in the game. Got the next invul to keep himself safe. Level 2 on the Dark Ranger as well. In this fight, it's going to be harder to take for Sonik, as now we don't have ghouls anymore, but just pure ranged army by the undead backed up with statues.
More punches raining down on Sonik. Will he get knocked out here? Moonjuice low. Archer's taking out by Coil Nova. Uses the regen, but getting cancelled by Sonik immediately. The Bears have yet to connect. They're going for the Lich, but that's not really ideal. They want to go for Fiends instead, usually. And Sonik again, just get out of my base card with the Shadow Strike on the DK. So it was the right... Oh my, that's a lot of healing here with Death Pact. And all the damage that Sonik threw at the DK is basically nullified. So... what can save Sonik now?
Yeah, very smart choice there with the Death Pact as well. Happy knows the only way this game is lost is if the DK dies. He gets one more Fiend right there, a bit more experience. But the Warden, at this point, she doesn't just need level 5, she needs level 6. Gets one Destroyer though. That was big XP. But still lacking behind. And that's because the early game, she was just so dominated. Remember, 7-minute level 3.
Yeah.
And things haven't gotten much better since then.
Forces are under attack.
She needs to find more kills, I guess. I guess that's the way to do it. Get level 5, find more and more and more kills, and then get level 6 at some point. But by then, what levels is Happy gonna have?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Remo. I smell a level 5 DK. I smell a level 3 Dark Ranger, and the nuke was already good. So a leveled up Coil and a harder punching Lich on top of that. That could be the end for the Warden and then for Sonik as well. But Happy, he doesn't want to creep at all. He just wants to brawl. He just wants to end this. He wants to get his stream running again. And yeah, same procedure as every time. Creep Jack, Coil Nova, dead archers.
Yeah, wonderful Nova right there, connecting nicely. Sonik keeps remaking these archers, by the way. Against the Lich 3 and Dark Ranger. That is a curious choice, to say the very least.
Remo's not happy with that one. I mean, they are good damage for gold, and they have, of course, a Loon's Grace, so they don't get the full damage from Coil and Nova, but it's still enough. Like, still easy kills, but maybe it's also due to the fact that he only has one engine of lore and feels like I don't have the time to rebuild the lore to get 2 production buildings up, so I have to try with archers.
Yeah, true. I guess that must be the line of thinking here. Just pump out as much as you can, even if it's just archers. But the Dark Ranger is going to enjoy that greatly. Remember, she's level 3 already. Sunwest coming in, detonating well against the Skeleton, and you have to do this. These Skellies in around 50 supply fights are absolutely amazing. As we also see regularly against Orc. The Warden is now level 5. Alright, she needs to get 1 kill after the next to get the level 6. That's the only way to possibly still win this game. Trying to hunt down a Destroyer, but that one gets saved once again. The Lich gets level 4. Plus 4 intelligence. Hoggers. And he can also eat these Skellies now for more mana. And the DK can also eat them for more health. This is a wonderful skeleton buffet that Happy is making use of right here. Might be forced to TP out once more, but actually it's the Nova, the Invul Potion first, I mean. Nova on the Warden, she's in trouble. DK with the coil could signal her end, but there's no mana for that either. He wants to go in, use the Shadow Strike again with the Blink, but the Death Pact is on time. Happy perfectly protecting his heroes, always. Not losing a single hero in this series, and if you don't lose heroes, the Warden will not win.